Super Turrican. Ah, the classic battle between a wizard 5 times the size of the planet and a funky-looking robot. If you're looking for a tearjerker story, you probably best be sticking to Final Fantasy. But if you're looking for something that can rival Final Fantasy and Super Turrican, it's the music. Well, maybe not so much, but it's still really good. Only a few games on the Super Nintendo featured Dolby Surround sound, and this was one of them. Aside from the badassness of the music, this game is actually pretty smooth. There are 3 different guns you can power up by getting the different color orbs. The levels are pretty fun and require some patience if you want to get every little thing collected throughout the game. While still considered a short game, there are no passwords, so you just have to play through in one sitting, which is going to take a good couple hours. When reviewed back in the day, this game got some awesome scores. The public, however, didn't quite buy into the hype, and it was one of those games you might recognize, but probably haven't played. Relate Super Turrican to an old-school version of Psychonauts, a platformer that didn't really reinvent anything and borrowed a few things from a few other successful games, but also had its own unique, awesome qualities that made it unique and badass. Holy crap, this game is freaking crazy! There aren't a lot of games where the main character is a mummy, and there's not a lot of games where you use your face as your primary weapon, but in ScrewAttack, yeah, you've got both going on. Now, if you look at it for what it is, chances are you're probably going to think this is the most pointless game in existence, and you're probably right. But I'd be a doo-doo pickle if I didn't tell you, I kinda like it. This game is all about funk. Funky characters, funky controls, and funky story. The main character's name is Chuck D. Head. You go around to put the world that looks like a body back together. You defeat your enemies by, well, facing the dead bad guys to death. You can also pick up a head, which Chuck doesn't have, so you can both face and head them to destruction. Make sense? Oh, sure it does. Now, if you love stupid humor, you're gonna love the names of the levels, all of which have to do with body parts, like Armington and Tubuland, and my personal favorite, Elbow Island. Get it? Elbow Island? As unique as ScrewAttack is, I think they might have got just a little bit too creative with the bonus stage, because I have no idea what the crap is going on here. Originally, when this game was released in Japan, it had quite possibly the coolest name for a video game of all time. Super Magical Flying Hat Turbo Turbine Adventure. Oddly enough, that name was changed when it came to America. Actually, pretty much the entire game was changed. The main character is no longer a little boy. These guys are no longer in the game. And what the hell, there's not even a turbine. Anyways, if you're down with original stuff, and chances are you are since you're down with ScrewAttack, you'll at least be entertained for a little bit before you start thinking the best way to destroy things is to extend your face into them.
Rocketeer on the NES. Most of you probably haven't played this game because the Super Nintendo was out at the time back in '91. But look at this intro screen. Where did this come from? Odd-looking contraption. What do you suppose it is? Shoulder straps, body harness, you don't suppose? Yeah, that's right. They know what it is, dildo. The Rocketeer is a side-scrolling action game. You have weapons exactly like Batman. You've got your fist you start out with, and then you go to the little pistol, and then you go to the little Tommy gun thing that's kind of pointless, and then you go to this thing that shoots a spread, and you have little grenades that don't do hardly anything, and a rocket launcher. Now let's see the comparison. You've got a batarang, you've got a pistol, and then you have the spread. And you can also punch people, just like this game. It's a ripoff. Another thing is when you kill people, they squirt out some gasoline so you can take off. The game had some really stupid levels. I mean, look at this. You're in a huge, gigantic refrigerator with fire in the refrigerator. That's impressive. And don't forget, how the heck does everybody in this game have a jetpack? I thought they were all after your jetpack because they didn't have one, but I guess this game doesn't count. This game has potential, but the problem is it's just too flawed. I mean, on some levels, all you can use is your fist, and the bosses are just ridiculously easy. There's only 3 bosses in the entire game. Don't do this one. It's terrible.
Once a mighty power in the early 1980s arcades, Q*bert fell on bad times during the video game crash of '83. Yeah, that actually happened. And it's a shame, too, because this little red ball of fur and snout was freaking rad. Hard, but rad. The objective of the game is simple. Bounce around from block to block, changing them to the right color. Pretty easy, right? No! Obviously, there's things that try to get in your way, like these purple snakes, goblins, and red balls. Now, nobody likes to get hit with red balls. Even Q*bert. What? Oh yeah, the little Furby cusses when you die. How cool is that? Well, not really cusses, but cusses in 1980s video game way. I'm a big component that even though a game's hard, it doesn't mean it sucks. And I'll always stand by that. But damn, after level 1, it's just ridiculous. Now, on top of avoiding all the baddies, you gotta switch the blocks. Twice. And when you're just about to get the last block, a new monster that comes out that resembles Butters from South Park. And guess what? Every block he steps on changes the color back. Damn it! It seems like every time you're about to get the last block, Butters comes out and ruins it. It's hard. Although tough, Q*bert is a badass game that, if nothing else, will teach you patience. Fair warning though, if you have serious anger problems, do not pick up this game. Q*bert will beat you. You will lose. And it will laugh at you. Well, it will cuss at you. We hit our good games and our bad games here in the Video Game Vault. And then there's balls. This might be the worst fighting game of all time. And that's saying a lot, because I've played Shaq Fu. So you've got your choice of 9 spherical characters, but I prefer the humping clown. Yeah, it's a clown that humps the air. Sexy. I guess it does kind of fit the theme of the music, though, because it sounds like a freaking jazzer-sized porno. Oi. 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 I will give Balls credit. While other fighters were kicking ass in 2D, it tried to brave the world of 3 dimensions and failed miserably. So with all the emphasis put on the 3-dimension thing, they forgot a few things along the way. Like most notably, the ability to control what the hell your character does. It's a total button masher. I seriously have no idea how to play this game. And since I have no idea how to play the game, I've taken a look at stuff in the background to keep me amused. And this is where it gets interesting. Apparently, pictures of sad puppy dogs, trains, and the Men in Black will get you psyched to play balls. And what the hell does taunt the ostrich mean? I don't see any ostriches, and last time I checked, taunting an ostrich is a bad idea. Just stay away from balls. I swear, this game makes little kids cry. I've seen it.
What happened?
Jeremy!
Oh man, you're not supposed to play that.
Let's talk about the Sega mascots. There was a little elf with a red sweater that kind of looked like a child molester, and that was Alex Kidd. Then there was that little Sonic the Hedgehog guy who just kind of blew up out of nowhere. Then there was supposed to be Ristar. Never heard of him? Well, you're not alone. Released in '95, Ristar was poised to be the next big Sega hit and carry them into ultimate dominance in the video game industry. But one thing came and just screwed everything up for Sega, a little thing called the PlayStation. It's a shame too, because Ristar truly is a rad game. It just never got its due. Imagine Bionic Commando with a goofy looking star with Captain Armstrong Reach that just plows into bad guys by hitting them with his face. And you've got Ristar. I could talk about how badass the gameplay is with the grapple feature, the bonus levels, and the big bosses, but that's beyond the point. You need to check this game out, it's just that cool. What I am going to talk about are the little things that make Ristar just reek of awesomeness. Ristar was designed by the Sonic team, so you know there's going to be a lot of similarities between the two. Let's just take a look at a little one that I love. In the early 90s, Sonic started something that you saw in a lot of games back then. Standstills. You know what I mean, when you stop playing and your character does something amusing? Well, Ristar took that and just ran with it. In different levels, he does different things. He's next to a fire, well, what's he gonna do? Sit down and rest, right? In the music level, he's gonna snap his fingers. And my personal favorite, in the snow level, what's he gonna do? He's gonna make a snowman. He's so cute. It's the little details that make a game great, and they are there in Ristar. Also, let's face it, the Genesis was never known for its awesome music. Let's be honest. But I gotta tell you, Ristar, not that bad, buddy. It set the mood. Now, will we ever see a Ristar sequel? Probably not. But it's definitely worth checking out if you have the opportunity. It's too good, too fun, and way too entertaining not to.
Possible Mission 2 on the NES. Now get a feel for this music because this is the last time you're going to hear any music. Because the game doesn't have any. Now the game sounds like a ripoff of Mission Impossible, but it's not really. You have 9 towers you're going through to try to find all the items you can to unlock doors. The goal here is to search through everything. Dumbbells, lockers, soccer balls. I mean, even basketball goals. Look at that. He just searches it and it disappears. Now, you do have options in this game. You have to go through and touch a computer in the room. You can turn on lights. You can make bombs go off. You can even unplug everything. Now, this game is actually pretty boring, but you can never die. So it just gets repetitious. You can go through and get some puzzles. There's some challenging puzzles, but it doesn't matter what you do. You have unlimited continues, and you can also save at any point in the game. This game also had a retarded-looking cartridge, but the Angry Video Game Nerd puts it best.
Seriously? Press here? It should just say, press here, you dumb fuck.
Now, if you're saying to yourself, yeah, this game looks like it sucks, you would be totally correct. It might have been cool in '88, and then again, these people were cool in '88. Batman is one of my top 10 NES games and one of the best, if not the best, movie-to-game adaptations. The game tied in closely with the movie with 5 levels of non-stop action. It had sweet cutscenes that go along with the movie. Even Vicky Vale has her 5 seconds of fame. The music was not from the movie, but still kicked ass through the entire game. Now this game was a ton of fun. I love punching bad guys, navigating through levels, and kicking some ass. One cool thing about it is jumping off of walls. I mean, how cool is that? Yeah. What's cool about this game is the 3 weapons you have to choose from.
Where does it get those wonderful toys?
You have a batarang, which is great for boss fights. Then you have the spread shot. It takes away a ton of ammunition and is good for things that are really hard to reach. And last, you have the gun, which really only comes in handy for this boss fight. Other than that, it's not really that great to use. Now I know what you're thinking, hey, this game looks like it could be easy. Well, there's where you're wrong. When you get to level 5, the tower scene, you're definitely going to get your butt kicked here. You have to navigate through these walls jumping perfectly to get through it, and it's actually pretty tough. If you've never played it before, the gears are the biggest pain in the ass ever. Sometimes you can't tell if you're going to hit them or not. Speaking of death, it reminded me of something. Why does Batman burst into flames shaped like the bat symbol? Now when you get towards the end of the game, you have 2 boss fights. First is a guy who punches ridiculously fast and it's actually not too hard when you use the batarang. Now keep this in mind, when you run out of batarangs, the Joker is going to destroy you. If you want to beat it, you'll have to beat it the first time around. Now I understand the big gun. But why did they make him able to shoot lightning? I don't remember that in the movie. I do remember him throwing cash at everyone though.
Oh.